Hey, what's going on, Who That Nation? It is yours truly, TJ Jones, the host of the State of the Saints podcast. And thank you so much for tuning in to the State of the Saints podcast, where we talk New Orleans Saints. And this isn't going to be a long show. As a matter of fact, this isn't a show at all. It's just the fact that I've been getting emails and inboxes about people wanting me to talk a little bit about Nick Easton being cut by the New Orleans Saints. So just wanted to let you all know about it and give you my thoughts. And before I do so, I just want to let everybody know coming up this Monday on the State of the Saints podcast, Monday morning, we will have from After Further Review, we will have Matt Moscona on the show. So if you've been following After Further Review, if you're not in Louisiana, I'm pretty sure you're probably seen their YouTube channel. I mean, Matt Moscona is good as it gets when you're talking about Saints football. So he will be on the State of the Saints podcast on Monday. So be on the lookout for that. And also, this show is brought to you by Manscaped. Go to manscaped.com, put in a promo code State of Saints, and you can save 20%. And I understand that guys out there, is Valentine's Day is tomorrow, and you want to look your best, man. You want to feel your best. You want to show your girl that you're well groomed, well taken care of. Look, Manscaped got you covered, man. Now, won't be able to help you out for Valentine's Day, but going forward, okay, you'll be able to get your delivery a couple of days after Valentine's Day. But look, they got some great products, man. Great products for grooming, also body washes and all type of other things that men need. Check them out, manscaped.com. Use the promo code State of Saints, and you will save 20%. So check them out, man. Good stuff right there. But let's go ahead and talk about Nick Easton. Nick Easton being cut by the New Orleans Saints. With that, I think the Saints will save about $5.7 million with the cut of Nick Easton. Look, this wasn't it wasn't a surprise to me. It wasn't a surprise to me at all. Not surprised that Nick Easton got cut by the New Orleans Saints. If you look at Nick Easton over this past season, I think he may have had about 2 or 3 concussions. When you start to have those many concussions in one season, that's really a red flag. And you kind of feel bad for Nick Easton because he's such a solid offensive lineman. He was a bold soldier, being in and out of the lineup for the New Orleans Saints, rather when Andrews Pete was hurt, Cesar Ruiz being hurt, or not be giving you the production that you were looking for as of right now. Nick Easton came in and he did a very formidable job. But when you start dealing with concussions, you have to start to think about your career outside of football. And I don't think Nick Easton will have an issue finding a job. I mean, be that as it may, I understand that this is a tough job market, but when you go to Harvard University or you graduate from Harvard, I think you should have a job lined up for you somewhere, outside of football. But Nick Easton was an incredible offensive lineman, man. I mean, he was a guy that always served in a backup role where he went. I mean, for the Vikings, for the Pittsburgh Steelers, Baltimore Ravens, he always kind of just, was just in the lineup, always kind of rotating because, the guy, Nick Easton was a really good offensive lineman, but it just seemed like the guy that he was, going up against was always like a step above him. So it's no knock on Nick Easton as offensive lineman. It's just the fact that, the guys that were on the team that he was competing against were just above average, all pro level. So I don't know if Nick Easton is going to continue to play football. And if I am the wife or the father or the cousin or the brother, I would really talk to Nick Easton and ask him to consider retiring because, dealing with all these concussions, the stuff that we know right now about CTE and head injuries and stuff like that, it's hard for me to watch Nick Easton and want him to continue to play football. And look, Nick Easton was missed down the stretch for the New Orleans Saints. And do I wish he was in the lineup? Absolutely, it could have used him. But when I seen that he wasn't, active for some of those games, a part of me was happy because he wasn't out there putting himself at risk. And I get it, man. You want to be a champion. You want to put forth the best effort. You want to not let your teammates down. But look, man, you got to live a lot longer than you're going to be playing football. And, Nick Easton set it down and they shut it down and put him on IR. So Cutting him, they're going to save about $5.7 million, and the Saints need that money, going forward. The Saints are dealing with cap issues. I'm not as worried as some Saints fans are about the Saints cap issues. I've seen this movie before. I've seen what Kai Harley, the guy that's a part of the finance department with the New Orleans Saints, I've seen him work his magic, and I'm just not concerned about it, man. That is just weird talking points to me. You know what I'm saying? Like I seen this all the time. You know what I'm saying? Back in the day, I think during the time when Junior Gillette and crew were on the team, Saints were dealing with cap issues. How are we going to get, how are we going to get out of cap hell? And the Saints end up signing Jarius Byrd to a big time contract. So I don't really concern myself with the contracts or the salary cap because I know the Saints are going to do what they have to do to get it done. And I just think that a lot of nervousness from the Who Dat Nation is just because of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers winning the Super Bowl and them having $30 million of cap room available this offseason. And I understand that, but look, I'm not concerned about the New Orleans Saints. I think with the combination of a good draft and signing some of your core players back, I think the Saints will have a recipe for success. And the quarterback position is the main issue for the New Orleans Saints. Will it be Jameis? Will it be Taysom? Will it be someone in the draft? Maybe a Mac Jones come in and be your starting quarterback for next season. But all I know is that I have a lot of confidence. Kai Harley, Mickey Loomis, his staff to get the job done and make sure that they have the best team available. Another question people wanted me to talk about, and I talked about this since I'm thinking about it, was Patrick Peterson. Patrick Peterson is going to part ways with the Arizona Cardinals. A couple years ago, Patrick Peterson was trying to get out of his contract in Arizona, and New Orleans was a landing spot for him. And this was during a time where the New Orleans Saints were still, they were dealing with that second corner who can be opposite of Marshawn Lattimore before Janoris Jenkins came. And Patrick Peterson wanted the Saints to try to do everything they can to get him. And the Saints really did, man. I mean, you even had Sean Payton calling up to the Arizona Cardinals front office, trying to see if they can actually, make a deal. But, they couldn't do anything. Patrick Peterson has stayed with the Arizona Cardinals since then. And now the Arizona Cardinals are going to give him his release. And, I think it all just depends on how much money Patrick Peterson is asking for and what you're asking Patrick Peterson to do. Patrick Peterson, I mean, he is older. I mean, he's still a good cornerback. He's still better than the rest. But, he's not the Patrick Peterson he was when he was in his youth. You know what I'm saying? Guys start to get older. They start to wind down. Injuries start to plague them. And, the wide receivers and the tight ends and, these guys start to get a little bit faster. And these guys start to slow down due to these injuries. And you got to be careful with that. We can't fall in love with the name. We got to fall in love with the game. I'm going to say that again because I liked it, and I just said it on the fly, okay? You got to fall in love with the game and not the name, okay? Because sometimes, like, we fall in love with a guy or what they used to be in our minds, right? When Champ Bailey was here a couple of years ago, we just remember, oh, that's Champ Bailey, right? Champ Bailey, all those great years in Denver, all those great years in Washington, and he wasn't the same Champ Bailey. And then, with Adrian Peterson, legendary running back. We fell in love with all that production in Minnesota, and he wasn't the Adrian Peterson that we saw. So it's very important for us to understand that it's about production. And sometimes you're going to have a guy that comes in, probably not going to be, a name that is on the lips of everybody in the National Football League, but they come in and give you a lot of production. Nobody really knew who Demario Davis was unless you're like really embedded in NFL football. I mean, a few people know who he was. If you've seen the Jets play or you've seen Cleveland or something like that. Like I said, if you really love football and really watch games, you probably knew who he was. But for the most part, nobody really knew who Demario Davis was. And now Demario Davis is arguably the best linebacker in football. So sometimes it's best for you to try to go out here and get one of those guys that probably you is not heralded as a Patrick Peterson or some of these other big names, but they can give you that production. Now, if you can get a Patrick Peterson at a reasonable price, why not? I mean, you still have to figure out what you're going to do with Janoris Jenkins. I mean, Janoris Jenkins gave you really good production, but what's the asking price right there? And are you going to be willing to, renegotiate his contract? Will he do that for you? I mean, I don't know. I mean, you renegotiated his contract and restructured it last season for him to come back. I don't know if he'd be willing to do that again, especially him being around 32 or 33 years old at the start of the 2021 season. But Patrick Peterson, I really like a lot. I know he has the LSU background, but at the same time, will he be able to give you that production that you're looking for? I would say that he would give you something in the form of leadership, and it depends on how you line them up. When it comes to coverages, will you be able to give it to him? I would say that he would be able to give you something, but I don't know. It's kind of a question mark. You want to say hello? All right. Yeah, we got the Pecking Man here on the show. Yeah, but anyway, it's about giving production. You know what I'm saying? That's very, very important. All right. You all right? But anyway, thank you very much for tuning into the State of the Saints podcast. And please subscribe to the YouTube channel, youtube.com, search The State of the Saints podcast, facebook.com, search The State of the Saints podcast, and previous episodes are available on iTunes, Spotify, and iHeartRadio, and Anchor FM. Till next time, all I got to say is, who dat?